Soggy Science here. It's our 14th one. Woohoo! Stoked to be with you guys. Super full week. Tons of water science and news out there. Flight 370. Boy, oh boy. I'll stick with the Australian Navy commander's statement that it's not like a needle in a haystack. It will be once they find the haystack. Search areas shifted 3 times. Multiple hundreds of kilometers apart. Southern Indian Ocean, fairly well confirmed that it's somewhere out there. Problem is they're finding debris, which I think is debris, except it's just garbage everywhere in the entire oceans of the planet. 5 Gyres was just interviewed yesterday by the BBC to talk about that. If you want to get more involved in helping with debris pollution in the oceans, contact 5 Gyres. They're really good people. Anna, good at work, and your staff and everybody else there. Hi, good friends of Soggy Science. On a more interesting note, positive note, researcher Tellman has been aerial surveying the largest shark migration in U.S. coastal waters. Black tips and spinner sharks every winter in February migrate up the Florida coast and the east coast of the United States to find estuarine breeding and mating areas. So that's going on as we speak, and they've been seeing really good numbers and fascinating science coming out of there. So good job, guys. Keep it up. Can't wait to hear more. Salt Lake City, Utah. Interesting place to have water news. But they hosted a underwater robot competition based on real world needs. And these robots weren't just simply functioning underwater, but they had to open a door and find a location and accomplish some science. So guess what? They were 6th graders. It's so awesome to see young scientists out there doing new stuff. So congratulations, guys. Hopefully more of that type of stuff will be done. But it's kind of timely given the search and the autonomous robot stuff that's talking about being used for Flight 370. Some sad news out of the Philippines. 22 pygmy sperm whales were killed from dynamite fishing. Not only that, 21 dolphin as well. Antiquated fishing techniques that just do a lot of harm to coral, and we've known that for a long time. But really graphic evidence of how sensitive marine mammals are to big acoustic impacts. So hopefully this will bring attention and we can put an end to these really damaging practices. California, on the shark conservation front, the trade ban on shark fins in California was upheld by a federal court, not found to be discriminatory. So that's good news in our continued efforts to keep the keystone species intact and hopefully cut back some of the motive for killing and finning so many every year. It is outrageously crazy how many are taken, and we think they're dangerous to us. Washington mudslide news, really sad this week. Very fast moving mudslide buried a small rural area and made it very dangerous for rescue and recovery workers to make way with backed up water and debris and quicksands and all kinds of craziness. Appears that the soil composition with a lot of rain lately made it highly unstable. I wish the families well and hopefully quick cleanup and stabilization of the area. But I think the residents knew there was some danger because there was talk of many of them trying to move out of the area. So hopefully some mitigation strategies will prevent this in the future. I'm sure FEMA will be on that. Colorado River has now flowed for once in a major way in the last 50 years into the Sea of Cortez. Go figure that a river should flow where it actually is meant to go. Some funny back and forth with Will Ferrell and Robert Redford on that one and Raise the River's efforts. If you haven't checked out the YouTube video, check it out. It's quite funny. So looks like we're going to send robotic ROVs down to the deepest trenches of the world, a la Cameron, but this time for long research investigations. The Nereus ROV from the research vessel Thompson G. Thompson is going to go to the Carmatic Trench that's northeast of New Zealand. It looks like that. And it's out there about 900 kilometers off of there, and they plan to go to other trenches as well to investigate seismic subduction and earthquakes and biology and all kinds of cool marine science goodies. So I can't wait to hear more about that. That's going to be awesome. In an ironic note, the Crimea political situation has led to some water news. It appears that the Russians have taken over Ukraine's combat dolphin corps. So they're now raising their flippers to a different flag. Combat dolphins are utilized by our own navies and around the world. Hopefully we can figure out a better way to use it than exploiting marine mammals for that. But nonetheless, a little marine mammal politics on a global geopolitical scale. Who could think such strange things would happen? Anyway, Palau. Very cool news out of Palau. One of the world's biggest commercial no fishing zones, hopefully, potentially very soon. Massive 260,000 kilometer area. For those of us who don't know what that kind of looks like, it's just under the size of France, which is pretty cool. And they're planning zero commercial fishing, so could be quite a win for one of the most abundant and diverse places for fish and corals on the planet. Hopefully that will go through. On the marine mammal front again, we have a new deep diving record. Woo-hoo! Cowler's beak dolphin dived deeper than anything we found before, almost 3,000 meters, which is well over 6,000 feet, and it stayed down for over 2 hours. That is crazy. They haven't quite figured out what they're chasing down there, but they're doing feeding dives that are deeper than anything we've seen from any other species, and that's really exciting news, both on the diving front, but on the marine mammal front. So marine megafauna continue to amaze us every day. It's crazy. It's crazy. And on a happy, sad note, some Finnish divers have recovered the diver's fatality in the caves, Plura Caves of Finland. Covered that a couple months ago. It was on February 6th that a team of divers went in and 2 didn't come back and 3 were suffering from decompression sickness. The repeated recovery attempts were decided to be too dangerous by the police, but a team of Finnish cave divers kind of snuck dive in, which you should really work with the public authorities, but they managed to recover the bodies of the 2 missing divers. So hopefully that will apply some closure to the families. The Finnish government is not planning to prosecute the dive team, but thank goodness for some closure. Cave diving can be very safe if done properly, but extreme dive, this was in excess of 130 meters, almost 400 feet in depth, let alone penetration into the cave, always does carry risk, but can be done safely, clearly, when things go right and proper training and setup are utilized. Anyway, that's the week. Super busy. Thank you for your suggestions. Subscribe, follow us on social media, and get out there, get in the water, and get soggy.